Good day everyone, welcome back to True Celebrity Stories. It's great to meet again. In this video, we'll be talking about Dido's disappearance from music and the spotlight for over 15 years. But first, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Dido's blend of easygoing soulful pop took the world by storm in the early 2000s. However, she seemed to vanish from the public spotlight after two successful albums, while Amy Winehouse and Adele took over as the leading ladies of British music. But she's returned. Dido's fifth album, Still on My Mind, was released in March 2019 and was accompanied by her first tour in a long time. When Dido was featured on rapper Eminem's popular song Stan, she became a crossover sensation in the United States. Her presence on his 2000 record was a sample from her debut song, Thank You, which had been released a year previously in the United Kingdom. But the success of Stan propelled Dido to stardom almost immediately, landing her on the Billboard charts for the first time. Following that, Dido's song Thank You rose to the top of the charts the following year, becoming her first and only solo Billboard hit. She released her second album, Life for Rent, a few years later. Dido's popular single from the album, White Flag, was another big hit. It did successful in both the United Kingdom and the United States, peaking at number 2 in the former and number 18 in the latter. Dido would go on to record numerous more albums in the years after her peak success, but her career would never be the same again. Her latest song to chart in the United States was in 2003, and in the United Kingdom it was in 2013. Then in 2019 she resumed touring after a 15-year break. So how has she been since then? A brief background. Dido was born Florian Claude de Bonneviale O'Malley Armstrong in London, England on December 25, 1971. Roland, known as Rolo, is her older brother and she is the youngest of two children. William and Claire, her parents, are of Irish and French origin, respectively. According to Stuff, she was given the moniker Dido as a kid after the Queen of Carthage. That moniker stuck with her and eventually became her stage name. Dido was born on Christmas Day 1971 in Kensington, and because she was born on Christmas Day, she, like Paddington Bear, has an official birthday on June 25th. Her mother Claire is a poet while her father, William O'Malley Armstrong, was a publisher and former managing director of Sidgwick and Jackson. Her older brother, Roland Constantine O'Malley Armstrong, known as record producer Rolo, is part of the electronic trio Faithless. Dido received her education at Islington's Thornhill Primary School, Darlington School, City of London Girls, and Westminster School, where she was taught by Sinan Savaskin, a contemporary musician and head of academic music. Her parents enrolled her at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London after she stole a recorder from school at the age of 5. She learned to play instruments, mainly the piano and violin, while she was there. However, she later discovered her vocal abilities and desired to perform. She knew how to play the piano, recorder, and violin by the time she was in her teens. She later worked as an itinerary agent while studying law at Birkbeck, University of London. She never completed the degree, deciding instead to take up music full-time. She began singing with many bands in the late 1990s before landing with her brother's band. Rolo had a successful music career as a producer with the Faithless band. Dido's first attempt at recording music was a success. With Faithless, she primarily sang backing vocals. She was, however, in the early stages of launching her music career. Her debut album, No Angel, was recorded and published in 1999. Thank You was the project's debut single. The song, along with others, received airplay and was featured on television in the United Kingdom. Dido didn't realize it at the time, but her career was about to take off when she heard an American rapper wanted to sample her song. Eminem's considerably dark version of Thank You on his 2000 single, Stan, which topped the charts in 12 countries and introduced Dido's vocals to a whole new audience, was a specific turning point. I received a note along with a tape containing my sample track. I don't recall much from the 1990s, but I do recall putting it on in a New York hotel room. The demonstration was fantastic, but I had no idea what was going to happen next. She hadn't planned on being handcuffed and duct-taped in the boot of a car while playing the part of Stan's girlfriend in the music video. I'd never done anything like this before or since. It felt like we were filming a little film. It was incredible. Eminem contacted Dido in 2000 to ask if he could utilize the chorus from Thank You in his next song, Stan. That creative decision turned out to be one of Dido's best for her still developing music career. Her album, which had fallen out of favor, was now again in demand. Her followers on the other side of the pond were eager to learn more about the musician behind the catchy melody. She told MTV News in 2000 that she was taken aback by the sudden interest in her record following her brief appearance on the show. "It's hard for me to comprehend that someone would run out and buy my record after hearing that short sample from Eminem's song," Dido stated. But that small bit would boost her album sales in the US, and of course found its way to the top of the charts back home with the #1 spot. Dido rose to international popularity as a result of the global success of Stan, and she became a mainstream musician. She wisely took advantage of the situation and began work on her sophomore album, Life for Rent. The album was published in 2003 and includes the song White Flag, which helped Dido re-enter the Billboard chart in 2004. The record would go on to be one of the top 10 albums in the United States. Safe Trip Home, her third album, didn't have the same commercial success as her first two. Between the release of her second and third albums, she had a long vacation, and the latter failed to produce any big singles. She'd also ceased touring in the United States in 2005. After giving birth to her son in 2011, she appeared to take a break from music, and her previously fluid approach to songwriting seemed to drift until one day she sat down to start playing the guitar in my studio and found myself singing a song about having a kid, not thinking anyone would hear it. I didn't want to write about having a child, that was very forbidden. The song was Have to Say, which is now the album's final track. It kind of opened the floodgates, that side of my brain, she says. All of a sudden, I was writing everything else. Dido was free of pressure because she didn't have a record deal. No one was expecting it and no one was waiting for it. It was liberating. Her song, If I Rise, was nominated for an Academy Award the same year. Then in 2013, she published Girl Who Got Away, her fourth album. However, it was not as successful as the previous one. Dido continued to make songs throughout the years, despite not having the same level of success as she did in the early 2000s. Dido ended her 7-year engagement with her fiancé, entertainment lawyer Bob Page, after the release of No Angel in 1999, and much time spent promoting the record. In 2010, Dido married Rohan Gavin. Stanley, their only child, was born in July 2011. Dido describes herself as a lifelong supporter of Arsenal, a Premier League football team. Because she has an Irish father, she is a dual British-Irish citizen. Dido now feels secure in charge of her career after 25 years in the music business, though she acknowledges she has always required a little nudge out of her comfort zone. "I was like, I just wrote these songs in my bedroom and now I have to sing them in front of people?" She says of being booted off to America before the release of No Angel. "They were quite personal. When you make your debut album, you don't expect anyone to listen to it. I used to literally go on stage, sing the songs, and then fuck off. After a year of shows, my manager said to me, you could say your name, maybe introduce the song before you sing it." Dido has 77 soundtrack credits, according to IMDb, for her decades-old songs that continue to be played on numerous television series and films. Dido announced her new album Still on My Mind in 2018 and that she'll be touring for the first time in 15 years. Her tour tickets were rapidly sold out. Dido told Nylon magazine in 2019 that she was always writing music when she wasn't charting, but that the birth of her child changed how much time she spent on it. "I'm usually writing, and the reason for the little delay this time is that I had a child, so I spent a lot of time with him, and it's amazing how quickly time passes," she stated. She took a break from touring because she needed a break from the continual travel. Her capacity to play the songs was further challenged when her father fell ill and she created songs about it. She realized she couldn't tour after that and took an extended rest. Dido, on the other hand, claims to be back and her creative pen is brimming with ideas. "It's a new beginning. I'm looking forward to composing, recording, and touring again. It's as though I've been given a fresh lease on life. You forget about it until you have to do it again," Dido remarked. Hey, you've made it to the end of this video, so what do you think? Will Dido bounce back to selling big numbers like before? Let us know in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications. Now, if you'll excuse me, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.